Yes, we back at it. Final thoughts. 30-6. Raiders over Giants. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Tragedy turned triumph. Burst. You're first tonight, dog. Welcome. The like buttons are firing off early. I appreciate y'all. I got 2 in here and 2 likes. Batting 1,000 right now. There it goes. It's gone. Woo! Now, how in the heck do you get 3 likes and only 2 watchers? That's impressive. Man, things are going great tonight. Shoot, I'll take it all day. And a lot of people chattering out there today, boy. A lot of information allegedly getting leaked. We'll cover that at the beginning of the show. Kind of clear the air. Figure some stuff out. Cuban Raiders in the house. What up? What up, brother? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful Monday. Life is so much easier when we win, right? The week is just a little bit better to tolerate, and you don't have to hear all the chatter. Chatter. Raider Nation. Tragedy turned triumph. Yo. Ray Gonzalez is in the house. What's up, Ray? What's good, Jason? And Nation. You know how it is, bro. Kicked off Monday. Had a great day at work. Got some things settled. Some I's dotted, some T's crossed. John Leone's in the house. Salute, Nation. Salute to you, brother. All right. Man, we're kicking off hard tonight. Look at that. Nick 209's up in the house. Night. Always a pleasure. Big win. Big win, Nick. And it's always a pleasure to have you in the house, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get this thing started. Let's kick this bad boy off. Welcome to another episode of Night of the Shield. I'm Jason Smith, a.k.a. The Knight, a.k.a. The Oakland Knight, a.k.a. The Blind Jedi. Call me what you will. I'm here to talk Raider football right here on the Las Vegas Raiders News Review channel. And it's brought to you by Independently Blind Studios, where we educate, advocate, motivate, and inspire those going through sight loss, overcome obstacles in their life to live their best life, to live out their dreams. And it doesn't matter what type of loss you have. Obviously, my specialty is going to be sight loss because that's what I go through. But you could have hearing loss, mobility loss, whatever loss you have in your life. We're here to help you motivate, inspire, and get over what you're going through. With that said, let's kick off tonight's show. Got a mouthful, man. A lot of alleged stuff coming out, right? D the Sums in the house. I had to work yesterday. Oh, bro. I missed the game. Man, thank goodness for replay. Catch it on replay somewhere, man. It's got to be out there. Here's the thing, right? A lot of stuff's being said. I got some game balls that I want to give out tonight. I want to talk a little bit more about specific parts of the game that I found exciting, and then what we could look forward to as we head into this week against the New York Jets, who are playing the Chargers tonight. So I don't know if you guys are watching the game. I was going to pull it up on my iPad as I sat here, but I'm running low on juice. I used it at work today, so I really don't care who wins or loses that game tonight, to be honest with you. Not in the mood to care what the Chargers are even doing at this point, you know, and looking at what the Jets are doing, it doesn't matter at this point because we got to focus in on us building our new identity, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and talk about the first thing that's first, right? Reports driving us mad today, dude. Like, everybody's talking about the secret meeting, a conversation either that happened during the meeting or after the meeting between Antonio Pierce and the name that we will not mention. Look, for me, and this is truly where I'm at, y'all. The past is the past. You know, it's very hard to go through life with what I deal with, and I've shared that with you, and I'll be sharing more as we do these shows. I am a glass half full type of dude. I have to think that way. It's one of the hardest things to do, but I had to implement that in my life, have that type of mindset and philosophy to keep myself going every single day, just to get where I'm at today. And I'm just one of those guys now that we knew what the problem was. We've been talking about it for weeks here. We knew it finally caught up to everybody in the nation. Look, to those who were all not on board from day one and think that you saw the future and you knew for a fact, I promise you didn't know for a fact. You choose to make a judgment call based off a team that they came from, and it worked out in your favor. Nobody saw that coming. nobody hoped. For 20 years, every decision that's been made has been in hopes that this is going to change this organization and start pushing it forward, period. So the fact that it has changed once again is actually a positive thing at this point. I don't want to continue to harp on what was, because what was is no longer. So there's no need to focus on the past. We may have to reference it. I have no problem with it referencing as we move forward. There's definitely going to be some moments of reference as the team starts creating change in the organization, in its cultures, its philosophies, the way they approach week in and week out, and obviously how that impacts the game on Sunday. So moving forward, look, you're not going to see me get too far in deep on what happened, what transpired to get us to this moment. My sole concern right now is this moment, that it's another new beginning. It's going to come with its own challenges, its own ups, its own downs. And I'm just here for it, dude. I'm here to kind of walk ourselves through this. Let's talk it out together as a nation, and let's root them on and just keep things positive moving forward and hope that that glass finally starts to fill up. With that said, with that nice little introduction said and done, I want to give out some game balls. My game balls are going to be completely different than most people that I listen to throughout the day today on podcasts and other types of shows, and great content out there. Great vibe going for the Raiders right now. You got to love it. I mean, I've seen Max all over the place, Davante popping up in videos. There was a great post-game speech done by Antonio Pierce. And the biggest thing that stuck out to me is you see Davante in the background just nodding his head, just totally into everything that Antonio's saying. And when you look at the numbers, look, the guy didn't blow it up, but he's happy. Why? Because everybody's numbers were pretty close. I think Jakobi Meyers led with like 54 yards in receiving, but yet, Davante was right there, I believe, with like 32, maybe close to 40. I can't remember the exact number. But, I mean, everything is in the right direction right now. Everybody's talking. But my first game ball, I got three game balls I want to give out tonight. And I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can so I can get in the chat, because this show is for you guys, man. I love to have you guys set the narrative and we just talk about whatever's on your mind, but I want to get some things off my chest. And I'll be doing a lot more of this moving forward. And maybe I go back to doing a couple of standalone videos just to get my thoughts out, and then maybe do lives later to talk about maybe the things that I talked about or whatever. We'll figure that out as we move along. But my first game ball goes to the man who started this all, and that is Mark Davis. We've talked about it all week. It took a lot of courage, give the man a ton of respect. We would have never had that day yesterday if he didn't give up nearly $100 million again. It's close. It's up there. It's about 80, 90 million around there. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's really close. It's really high that he had to sacrifice. Now, his decision. But again, man, if you ask me to give up $100 million of my money, first and foremost, I ain't got that kind of cash to throw around. But two, that's a lot of money just to walk away from, to pay somebody, especially with the way that things went down. Man, that would be hard for me to do. However, he cares enough about this organization that he said, you know what? It's worth it. I'm doing it. I need change. He had a taste of victory over there with his aces. He knows exactly what the kind of feeling he's looking for. I think he better understands what it is that we're asking for. And he made a big, big decision to move on from the last regime. So game ball to Mark Davis for showing us, proving to us how much he really, truly cares, not only about this football team, but about its fan base. And I have a lot of respect for that. Game ball to Mark, number one. Second game ball, got to go to the man who decided to challenge the man. I mean, there's a lot of alleged reports. Like, again, I mean, I'm sure there will be more concrete stuff that comes out as the weeks go on and so forth. But Antonio freaking Pierce, straight out of Compton himself, dude. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, the man figured it out. The man was able to tap in to the pulse of this team. Excuse me, I'm still fighting a cold. I got a drink here to try to keep it better, but man, this time of year is nasty. But he was able to tap into everything that this team was asking for. Let them be themselves, took that pressure right off them. You saw the vibe change instantly. The culture, the way they were in the locker room, they were playing music, they're playing games. Look, they were talking about it. Max was talking about there was an hour of practice on Thursday, an hour and a half practice on Friday. Look, the man did his thing. He took it serious. He backed up everything he said. He put it out there. He challenged everybody that needed to be challenged. He supported everybody that he challenged. He held people accountable on the field. He literally benched Amik Robinson. Put him back in, but he literally had to say, hey, man, that's not the way we play football. And then, he said today in his presser, on a clean slate, he turned the page, noticed that it was empty, went back there and started over. Went out there and made plays. 2 fantastic plays, to be exact. A lot of respect for Antonio. I'm curious to see what this is going to look like moving forward, because that's a whole nother conversation, but I will digress at the moment as we move forward. But Antonio Pierce, hands down, deserves the game ball for taking on. It's not easy to get the interim head coach job, to take a team that's been fighting, not been winning, been held back by the coach, a lot of weight on their shoulders. He was able to pull that weight off, meet them where they're at, speak to them like man to man, eye to eye, and was truthful, honest, and backed up everything he said. Game ball, Antonio Pierce. My last game ball goes to somebody I don't think is getting enough credit. And he's going to be bringing back. I hope this continues as it moves forward. I hope the style develops into something special, and we can start maybe giving him the new tagline for Bo Knows, and that's Bo Hardegree. Right? This guy had 2 days of practice to implement just enough to twist and turn it. Yes, he had to work with Basilio and change some offensive scheme, which I thought offensive line play, which they went to a more of a zone blocking scheme, which I thought was fantastic. Credit to him as well. But all credit goes to the offensive coordinator, which he was given that first time offensive coordinator, first time head coach. They got it done in a short amount of time. And I think that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here. And if you look at the numbers from yesterday's game, right? Aiden O'Connell was, I think it was 16 for 25, something around there for 209 yards. Very modest, no TDs, no interceptions. He was not sacked at all. He managed the game perfectly, in my opinion. But he would not have been able to do that if Bo Hardegree would not have implemented what he needed to implement. Offensive line protection, fantastic. Got the run game going. Over 100 yards rushing as a totality. Look, we didn't blow the doors off. I think we had a total of 330 yards of total offense. That's not going to kick the doors down and make everybody say this is the best offense in the league at the moment. But now you're starting to see a team that truly believes in its ability. We've already talked about how much money is spent on that side of the ball. We already talked about the playmakers on that side of the ball. Everybody touched the ball. DeAndre Carter. How many times have we said, who's DeAndre Carter? We need to get him involved. He's a playmaker. Tucker, we need to get him more involved. He's a big play. Got a big play yesterday in the game. Myers showed up. Austin Hooper showed up. Devontae got some touches. Jacoby Myers doing his thing, getting that end around, setting it up, going the 17-yard run on the end, scoring touchdowns. All based off the offensive coordinator, understanding his players, getting everybody involved, and making that defense look at everybody, not just two players. Game ball, Bo Hardegree, hands down. Hands down. Look, the players are going to have every opportunity in the world to continue to move forward. Sure, can we throw Aiden O'Connell a bone for getting his first win in the NFL? Sure we could. But there's a lot more this guy's got to do and prove to us as he takes over the reins of this organization and moves it forward. And I think he's backed up by some great guys right now. The real true test, now that the big bombshell landed, it blew up, smoke everywhere. Firefighter Antonio Pierce parachutes down, starts clearing it out, getting everybody excited, moving in the right direction. Smoke is cleared. New York Giants on the horizon. New York Giants in the past. New York Jets in the horizon. That's a good defense we're going to face. It's not a great team, but a really good defense. Another great opportunity to start sharpening some things, figuring out our identity, getting a purpose, moving forward, winnable football game. We have to go out there and continue to perform at a high level as we get ready to take on two big dogs in the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I've heard the chat binging and binging and binging. We're about time. I'm going to wrap my game balls up. You got it. I gave it to Mark Davis, Antonio Pierce, and Bo Hardegree. Complimentary ball given to Aiden O'Connell for getting his first win, but he's got a lot to still prove, right? This whole team has a lot that still has to prove. I got 14 of you in here. I got 11 likes. Anybody who's not yet hit the like button, go ahead and take the time to smack that like button. Let's go ahead and jump in. was saying what's up to a few of y'all. This, today we had Nick in here. We had Ray. We had Tragedy Turn Triumph, who was first. We had the Cuban Raider up in here. All right. We had John Leon. We had Nick 209. Cuban Raider popping back in with the statement. A bit of talk. That's correct. Yeah. A lot of talk, bro. A lot of talk. But you know what? We're backing it up. We got my boy Raider John in the house tonight. Raiders! Let's see if I can keep doing that all night without coughing. But I was able to get that one out for you, John. Cuban Raider with another Raider. Salute, John. Tragedy Turn Triumph. Yo, John, what's up? D the Sum's in the house. D the Sum, my boy. What's going on, brother? I had to work yesterday and he missed it. I remember reading those. I'm so sorry you had to miss that, brother. One Nation fan wears in the house. Welcome, brother. Half of football is mental. 100%. Like, that's not talked about enough either. So great point. And emotional. And any coach at any level, teaches the glad AP Antonio Pierce brought the fun and emotion back for the players. I mentioned it yesterday, bro. If you got to catch the live yesterday where we did the kind of instant recap or whatever of the game, and I said it's one thing to have X's and O's. X and O's are a big part of the game. You have to have good X's and O's. You have to have a good guy, good football minds to put these X's and O's together. But if you take the football out of it, if you take the whole fun of the sport and the reason they play, those X's and O's don't mean shit. They just don't. You're not going to get anything out of it. It just doesn't mean anything. It'll fall on deaf ears, and that's what started to happen. And then there's reportedly, allegedly, a lot of other things that were said and done as well. Freddie Chavez, Raider Nation for life. Raider Nation for life, buddy, no problem. One Nation fanware once again at D the Sum. You missed a great one. It really was, and it was more emotional than anything. The emotion, here he goes right here. The emotion was on point from the first snap. It was something that they needed it. We needed it. It's not, the score dictates that we really dominated the game, but it could have been a lot worse for the Giants, right? We were just barely, like I said at the beginning of the show, we're just barely touching this thing. They only had a couple of days to start implementing some new things, and the things that he implemented worked. I can't wait to see what they put out next week, as in the week on after that, and after that, and after that. Tragedy Turn Triumph. I watched these two fumble shows. I don't understand, man. I'm missing this one. I watched these two fumbles shows. I don't know. You lost me, brother. You lost me. John Leon, facts. Let's see. J Dub, just have fun equals just win, baby. Well put, J Dub, and welcome to the show tonight. Facts. Ray Gonzalez, so cool to have Antonio Pierce had the practice squad on the field. Man, he's just embracing the team unit. And we really need to get into what's happening with Antonio Pierce and this football team. So many great things, so many positive things that we could talk about. We've seen this in the past. We hear all the reports about Rich Bisaccia. He was a different type of motivator. He was more personal with the team. He really cared about the team. He wrote them all personal letters to each player. And he was more of a sensitive, caring, understanding. They really loved the man. They wanted to play for the man. Antonio Pierce is kind of the opposite of that. Same approach. He shows them that they care by telling them the truth, by being honest, blunt, forward, no bullshit. This is what we're going to do. This is what we need to do. Let's go do it. We're men. Let's go handle business. He's leading from a different perspective. Same philosophy. Do you remember when Tom Cable buried the football? Do you guys remember that day that he went out there and did that? There's a lot of different ways that we've watched teams put in interim head coaches and do simple things like that. It's not that hard to get a team fired up for a week. I'm excited to see how he continues to keep this team focused and headed in the right direction, and how that can translate long-term, because that's going to be the conversation we have a lot moving forward. D the Sum, word at One Nation. It's not the same watching it when it's not live. Fact, bro. It is different, but it's still fun to watch. A lot of the times in the past, I've had to listen to the game, and that's something we haven't talked about. We'll definitely get into that in the bye week. I don't want to turn my focus into my problems and how I have to watch the game. And I'm not even talking about my vision. I'm just talking about living in California, how hard they're making it. It's disgusting. Sam Tanaka, salute night. Salute right back at you, Sam, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. One Nation. Fanware. There were funny rumors that Mark Davis fired him at PF Chang's. Yeah, I don't think that was the case, but that was some good funny stuff though. PF Chang's with a fortune cookie. I read that article. It was hilarious. That said you're fired. Such an insane rumor. Yeah, I mean, him loving PF Chang's. I heard that McDaniels came in dressed like a clown for Halloween. It was a funny story, dude. It was a great play of words, and it would have been great if that would have been the truth, though. It would have been kind of funny. Tragedy turned triumph. Can we say we saw it coming because McD has done it before? Yeah, we can. Tragedy for sure, bro. Like we could totally and a lot of people have, right? But again, we've seen other coaches in the past struggle at another organization for a period of time, go back, reset themselves, come back and make a name for themselves, right? So the possibility was always 50-50. Always 50-50. I never really felt like the odds were 80% in his favor that he was going to be successful, or if it was going to be 20% that he would fail. It was a 50-50 thing that we had to let time play out. But it came real obvious by probably like third or fourth game of the season this year that it was going south and going south fast. It was not as advertised. There was no reason for what we saw, and that's what led us to where we're at today. Let's see. Combo. What's up, Knight? What's up, Combo? Welcome, brother, in chat. And real quick, to add to what we were talking about, Tragedy, real quick, the whole point of life is when we make mistakes, being able to learn from them, correct your mistakes, and move forward. That's how we evolve as human beings, as individuals. So again, as a guy who has, the condition that I have, and I get up every day, I had to put myself in that mindset. I'm always learning from my mistakes and how I could better myself as a blind person or visually impaired, whatever makes sense for people to understand what my vision is. But it's the same with everybody, and you got to give them the opportunity. He is just proven that he is too arrogant to learn from his mistakes. So the point is, I would be shocked if anybody else gave that man another chance. His only ability, his best chance is to go back to the Patriots, and maybe he can take over for his daddy and see how that works out. J-Dub, the entire O-line deserves a nod for a job well done. And you know what, J-Dub, I'm not even going to knock you. I think we could give out many more game balls or nods completely across the board. The way that everybody responded to once again, regardless if they were this felt more like it needed to happen, but it was still adversity they had to face. But, they would not have been able to do what they did, Jay, if the coaching staff, whoever was involved in making those decisions, changed the things that weren't good. Like we've been in here week in and week out talking about the things that the last regime would refuse to do. They refused to accept failure. They refused to think that their X's and O's were wrong, that they would not implement any type of change, whether it was a player, a scheme, how we designed it, anything. They were going to continue. And again, we've said it 100 times here, week in and week out. When you do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, it's insanity, dude. And what we saw this year was pure insanity. But yes, big shout out to the offensive line for keeping that boy clean, gaining his confidence. They're going to have a tougher task, in my opinion, this week. So I'm looking for some big things to come out of the offensive line and this offense as a whole. One Nation fanware once again at D-Sum. It felt good. It felt good because Jacobs came out fired up, dude. That guy was running on fire, dude. They were all so fired up. They set a tone. It's been this thing keeps getting in my way. It's been a long time. It felt like it's been a long time, right? But as it comes to Josh Jacobs, hasn't been that long. We've been waiting for this type of game from Josh Jacobs. He ran with more purpose. you could tell that he wasn't happy with the scheming and how he was being used or how the offense, for whatever reason, was flowing. Everybody responded. I was listening to the people after the game talking about how badly they just wanted that. I think it was Jermaine or Luminor talking about how badly he just wanted. They all wanted Jacobs to get that 100 yards of the game. He deserved it. He works hard. They love that dude. They love that dude, and they wanted it. It was an all-out effort to give Josh Jacobs a spotlight yesterday. And you know, even though he had it and lost it the next play, in my heart, in my mind, he got that 101 yards. That's exactly what he got yesterday. And again, it just goes to show you the connection on this football team. The connections are real. He didn't destroy that. One Nation fanware. Mark even got a new haircut. Not as much of a bull mullet as usual. But it is still a little, I'm not going to lie, it looks so much better. I'm glad that he's accepting who he is and just changing things up, you know, and just kind of showing, again, he's showing change. Change was necessary. He changed the regime. He changed his haircut. He changes the girl in his suite every week. Whatever he needs to do, man. The boy is doing his thing, man. He's figuring life out. He's figuring it what it is to be an owner of a sports organization or multiple sports organization, and winning means everything to him. D the Sum. It's funny how Mark is the good guy now. Oh, I've always supported Mark, dude, but he made the hire in the first place. But again, D the Sum, this is what I'll say, right? He's constantly trying to figure it out. And yes, he made the decision. He made the hire. Everybody around the league, Hondo reports it all the time, and I do still trust Hondo Carpenter, by the way. And he says all the time, everybody in the league would tell you, everybody would have banked on Josh rebounding in his second attempt at head coach, that he is a good X and O person. And I will even stand up for Josh to this day and say the X's and O's, the X's and O's are not the problem. He's the problem. It's okay when you're good at drawing up X's and O's and making plays happen, but when they don't work, dude, humble yourself, make the changes, change players, hold them accountable. He's not a people person. You could draw on a piece of paper all day, but if you can't coach men, you're done. You're done. So Mark is the hero, bro. The best quality of a man is to be able to admit when he's wrong and do whatever it takes to fix it. So by him firing these guys, giving up $80+ million, yeah, bro, he might have hired him in the first place. He understands that he made a mistake and he's paying the ultimate price. And there's a lot of owners out there, trust me. Go talk to Detroit Lion fans, Cleveland Brown fans, Arizona Cardinal fans, right? These teams don't give two shits, bro. They would have probably saved the money over everything. I mean, and he's making the money too. So he's definitely making the money, and he's giving some of it up for the sake of the organization and the fan base. Total respect. Do the sum. Mark basically just listened to his advisors to hire McD. But that's not even an excuse, tragedy, right? Like, again, those are his advisors. And this is what I would have to say for Mark moving forward. There's nothing wrong with getting second opinions. At work, all the time, we write certain emails. If the certain emails are going to outside of our organization to important people, we'd like to have multiple people read over the email to make sure that it's professionally correct, it's worded properly, that it's not going to be taken for any type of anger, slander, or negative type comments. And you'd be surprised on some of the feedback you can get from other people for simple things like that. So there's nothing wrong with him having advisors or having other people kind of help with the process. But at some point, you have to determine what it is that you want out of your organization and figure out what that's going to look like. And no matter what you do moving forward, whatever decision you make, you got to know that it matters. And I think the biggest problem is he spent way too much money on coaching, from Jack Del Rio, upping the ante with John Gruden, for continuing to up the ante with two guys that he came in and paid millions and millions of dollars to. At some point, you know, you got to start out from the bottom and make people start earning these contracts, bro. Period. Tragedy turned triumph. Now they fired two. Yeah, they were fired too, bro. They got rid of them as well. Let's see. They were fired too. Right here. Life of the Nation. What's up, brother? Welcome. Sometimes you gotta get benched to shine. You know, sometimes you gotta be humbled. Sometimes, and I've said this, and I was saying this about McDaniels. I was saying this about the quarterback situation as it pertains to Derek Carr, and in the past, and as we look at Aiden O'Connell now in our present, but more importantly, as we look towards the future, what I personally want to see, I want to see people challenged. You're going to get the most out of an athlete when they're challenged. If they get too comfortable or they feel like they got nothing else to prove, there's only going to be a few Max Crosbys. There's only going to be a few Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, guys who take this so seriously, that want to be the best so much that they don't stop. They're endlessly fighting every single day to get better and make a difference. Those guys are few and far between. Most guys need to be challenged. Some guys need to be benched, right? Aiden's got a lot to prove, man. One game, 209 yards passing, a passer rating of 90.2, which is actually pretty damn good. But again, I say continue to go and draft quarterbacks, bring quarterbacks in here, make them challenged, find that guy who wants it bad enough that's going to take it to the level that we've been seeking for a long time. There's nothing wrong with that. And if the quarterback position is the number one position in football, the one position that you need to be successful and sustain success, I'm leaving no rock unturned, bro. I think our first pick, regardless of what Aiden does the rest of the season, is to go out and find that quarterback. Tragedy turned triumph. But yeah, he should have known better. I don't know, man. I don't think that he should have known better. I think that he bought into too much of the Patriot way. And I think that's the biggest lesson that he learned, that no matter who he comes in here, they have to embrace the Raider way. That's the best intriguing thing about Jon Gruden. And that's the one thing that scares me moving forward. That's a conversation we have not yet had, that we will soon. And that is the future of Jon Gruden. We'll know more next week. So as more comes out with that, we'll address it as need be. Let's see. TTT. He was fired first, then Josh McDaniels. Let's see. TTT. I don't know who the TTT is. But I get you. Let's see. One Nation. Let's see. One Nation Fanware says, for a tiny safety, Amik plays with some crazy passion. He's tiny for the position. So you're saying safety, but he's actually a corner, and he actually will play slot. He'll play some outside. The guy's just a football player. I noticed this. I talked about it in the preseason. I've always liked Amik because Amik's always played super aggressive. Hobbs too. But if you watch, there was a play yesterday where Amik jumped the pass. He thought the guy was going to run a hook pattern. He jumped the route thinking he was going to get another one, and the guy took up upfield. The safety had to come over. Luckily, the ball was caught but out of bounds. But Amik got away with one there. But that's the kind of aggressiveness that Amik plays with. It's that same aggressiveness that got him the interception again yesterday. It was also that same type of aggressiveness and playmaking ability that actually had him knock the ball out of the hands on fourth down. Amik Robertson is a baller. Now, when you got guys like Amik that are going to make plays like that, unfortunately, that comes with a lot of other mishaps, like jumping that route and being wrong and having to pay for it. We got away with one there. Tragedy turned triumph. Thumbs up. Tears of joy. thumbs up. Facts. Dodgers, everything. Raiders. I'm going to wash the throat. I don't want to stop coughing again. J-Dub in the house. Bo has been a good quarterback coach for a minute. I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up for an offensive coordinator before. No, he's had a lot of experience, and again, this could really be something that we have to keep an eye on moving forward as he develops his own style and gets to put his own personality and twist into what he's learned over the years. We saw a little bit of that in the way that he created some of these plays, how he lined up the in and around of Jacoby Myers. First time I remember seeing it all year with him, right? I'm excited. He came in, and it's funny. It didn't really take them long because I was pretty impressed and pretty shocked by how the organization, the coaching staff really stepped up. I mean, even Patrick Graham had more blitz packages and some disguises in there that we haven't seen all season. Was that encouraged by Antonio? Was that held back by JMD? These are some of the questions. These are things I would like to reference as we move forward, as we see Patrick Graham continue to develop this defense, because he's done a pretty good job in his second chance at this thing. He's got some pieces. He's got some ballers. He's got some people that really believe in each other. And he raised the bar yesterday just enough. He didn't change it crazily. He kept the base that was working, that kept us where we've been, but he added some twists that really helped us out yesterday. And I was really impressed by the way he handled that. So I'm looking forward to seeing if there's anything else that he could change to continue to move the needle forward, right? J-Dub, let's say it says, Dirty salute. Dirty up in here? Where did I miss it? There's J-Dub. Did I see something from Dirty? I must have missed something. I don't see it. Raider John, collaboration and enthusiasm play a big part in production. Bo set this offense up to succeed by using both. And then some, brother. And then some. Hey, John, I don't know if you were in last night and long enough to see Byron up in here, dude. Like, we got to reach out to that cat, dude. I want to get us all up on a show, bro. I really want to bring some of the old dogs back and have a killer show, bro. J-Dub, facts One Nation for sure. D the Sum at One Nation. At one time, Bo was on the same level as Jordan as far as stardom. You're talking about Jackson? My goodness, dude. Yeah, Bo, there was a point in time in my room as a kid, I had all my flight posters all over. I had the big long one where Jordan had his wingspan out. It was the wings one. And then I had my Bo nose, and it was the black and blue poster. I had the Bo nose poster. It was Jordan and Bo all over my wall all day, bro, back in the day growing up. Let's see. One Nation fanware. Let's see. Advertising professors in college always show the students the Bo Knows campaign. I love that campaign, dude. Those were the days, bro. That was such a tragedy, too. J-Dub, Raider John, salute. Let's see. Dodgers everything. If Bobo continues to utilize this offense like he did on Sunday, we will be fine versus the Jets. And again, it was a very humble performance, right? Nothing. If you look at it, I think the yards per play were like at 8.9 yards per play. It was 209 passing, 90.2 passer rating. Really great from the passing game. Over 100 yards rushing, 330 yards total offense. Pretty average, right? Nothing like, it wasn't like this 500-yard explosion. But what he showed was the ability to design plays to get everybody involved, use the short game, use the long game, and the running game. That's going to bode well for us. I can't even talk tonight as we move forward. I'm excited to see what he continues to put together now that he has a whole week. And I can't remember who reported it, but literally, dude, that man, they said, went right after the game. He did his thing. He made the appearances he needed to, and he was back in the office preparing for the Jets. This guy is taking this opportunity very seriously. So much respect, much love. Mark Davis. Mark Davis is gangster and has all respect for correcting his mistake. Ray, such a great way to put that, Ray, because the bottom line is, look, a lot of people give him crap. I've always seen the heart in it. I've always seen the vision, what he was attempting to do. Has it always worked out his way? No. And this is not, let's praise Mark, put him on a pedestal, but I promise you, the biggest thing that I have respect for him for is admitting that he was wrong. And there's 80 million reasons why, 80 million plus reasons why he can make that claim. It takes a bigger person. He did exactly what his coach and his general manager wouldn't do. Hold himself accountable and make the necessary change to be successful, no matter what the cost was. And the next regime is going to have to do the same. They already came in and benched the most expensive player, quarterback anyway, right? Didn't say, I don't care about your pay. I don't care about your experience. I'm going with the rookie. McDaniels will never forget his firing. Never. This is twice. It's going to take, it took him 13 years to try it again. It's going to take even longer. All right, hold on. Oh, we're good. Ray Gonzalez, every Halloween for sure. One Nation Fanware, just sucks. All right, hold on, guys. I'm getting a call from my daughter. I want to make sure she's all right. Hey, you okay? When my show's over? Is it an emergency? We'll see what time it is when the show's done. Sorry, guys. I'm talking to my daughter. All right, so I'll get back to you on that. All right, love you. Bye. Teenagers. Only on live shows that could happen. I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't stuck somewhere and I'm ignoring it just to talk to my Raider fans, man. I love you guys, but that's my daughter. It's my baby girl. All right. One Nation Fanware, just sucks that the team has to pay so much for mistakes. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, see where you're going with this. Mark made my mistakes that Mark made with Josh, but it is what it is. And that's the first thing. Well, that's not necessarily the first thing I want to say, but like I've been thinking about that, especially in the last few days. Like what Mark's going to do. How is this going to affect Mark in his next decision? And we'll get in deeper into that when it comes to Antonio Pierce and all the other, potential prospects that are out there right now. But most importantly, we have these salary caps and we have all these different structured prices for our players and they're held to a certain standard. But when it comes to these coaches, right, you take a chance on a coach, whether it's a first-time coach, a retread coach, whatever it may be. And a lot of the times, if you come with a built resume, like John Gruden did, he built us in the first run. He also obviously had favor automatically with the owner. He won a Super Bowl in Tampa. We could talk about all day how that happened, but nevertheless, then he was fired from there. Did he deserve the 10-year, $10 million? I'm not exactly sure, right? But at least he had some history behind him that was more positive than negative. Josh McDaniels comes in here, commands about that price in about 6 years, and he's had nothing but failures. He came in with his offensive coordinator stats that we all know that Tom Brady was a huge part of, but nevertheless, we're paying for these coaches for something that we believe is going to be great, not knowing if their coordinator ability is going to turn into head coach capabilities. And everything that's coming out now seems like he had a bit more power than he should have when it came to Dave Ziegler, like he had something over Dave's head. And that's all bad. So moving forward, can we find a coach or can we convince a coach to have like not necessarily a full-on prove it type deal? I get it. You're not going to get coaches to sign up if it's not going to be some type of guarantee, a solid guarantee in there for them. But I don't know, man. It's a very tough world when you're paying millions of dollars for something that may or may not work. It's scary, dude. That shows you how much money they got to throw around, by the way. Tragedy turned triumph. My bad. Not even, bro. J-Dub. We gave up 377 yards with only one score allowed. That's been our MO all year. 8 sacks, 3 interceptions. Look, this has been the craziest thing about our defense when you look at it as a totality, right? It's bend but don't break, and sometimes they fire up and they get the 3 and out. They get that crucial stop. They hold them to only a field goal or no points at all. The biggest problem for our offense was our offense being able to capitalize even on the turnovers we were getting prior to this game. So again, offense starts making the best of those mistakes that the other team makes and our defense stops them. That's what's going to keep us at least in games. It's not going to guarantee a 30-6 win every week, but it's pretty crazy to give up those type of numbers, right? And only hold them to 6 points. So I would like to see them play a little bit more aggressive, but again, dude, it's a team effort is exactly what you want. Complementary football from both sides of the coin. That Raiders fan, the offensive line, most must continue to dominate in crucial. It's crucial for our running game and our rookie quarterback. 100% facts, that Raiders fan. 100% facts. And again, changing the scheme, going to something that made more sense. That would maybe obviously they saw something that would fit the style that this offense needed, that help. More of a zone approach, protect an area, let Josh wait for holes to open up. They had Moody in there blocking him in there for fullback. They made the necessary changes to get the ball moving. And you saw the arm strength and the quick release of the rookie quarterback that allowed to open things up too. And that was on short notice. This is the one thing that I'm excited about, and I hope it doesn't come back and kick me in the ass for being too excited for it. But they did this in a 2-day process. They're going to have a whole week to implement some twists and turns into the offense and kind of really start to ramp this up for the Jets. I'm really looking forward for big changes moving forward. Raider Nation, Jason, salute. Raider Nation, Jason, salute to you, brother. D Nightwalker's in the house. Sup, Night? Sup, brother? How true it is that this 8 games are at least to see if Mark picks AP over other higher profile coaches. These 8 games are crucial. And I know a lot of people are referring to Bisaccia. He's not going to make that same mistake twice if AP is able to do this. Look, I think there's a few things at play here. Number one, the one that we haven't talked about, because, he brought in Jalen Smith, by the way, and Jalen Smith was all over the field yesterday. I mean, his numbers are not going to show his presence, but for just being there for a few days, he really was able to impact the game and let his name be known that he's there. So that's something to look forward to, right? So Champ Kelly's already kind of making some moves and making some decisions behind the scenes. You got AP full on, straight out of Compton Raider, really pumping this team up if it continues. Patrick Graham continuing to build confidence in this defense. Does he stay around? Does Bo know? And does Bo continue to implement things in this offense that continue to move that needle forward? Then you're not making a lot of changes to the team. You got it already set. So I think these next 8 games could be huge, not only for AP, but this complete staff, the whole staff, right? And you'll find out who's real and who's not, for who sticks around and who doesn't stick around, right, to see this thing through. But make no mistake about it. You can't overlook everything else. You still have to go interview people. You're still going to have to tap into other coaches and see where they're at. And I'll get into that more deep because I have some issues with some of the names that have been floating around. I have some of the issues of what their roles might be. And we might be forced to have this conversation sooner rather than later. Like, we got the bye week coming up. There's a lot that I want to cover, and this might be one of the hottest topics we cover. But yeah, I'm really rooting for AP. And I'm really liking the structure of what could be moving forward. Is that going to be the answer for the Raiders? I personally believe so. I believe there needs to be a chain of command. I believe there needs to be an owner. And, maybe you could put someone in between that will directly work with the general manager as an accountability person, like a personal player personnel, football operations type person, right? And then Champ Kelly can be the boss over AP. They could work together in tandem, but there has to be that one person that AP answers to. And then AP's job is continue to do what he's do, be that player's coach, manage everything in front of him. A pure offensive coordinator, their only job is just to worry about offense. Same on the defense. Just worry about defense. I will worry about my philosophy. If you are doing your job well enough to make me happy, vice versa on the defense, my job is just to manage players, keep them motivated, and manage the game as we play it. It seemed to work last week. We'll see if that continues moving forward. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I really, really like the setup that's there. Oh man, I forgot about the cable guy burying the football. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these instances of inspirational type things that happen when change happens. It's can see that consistently. The only person that we know that really proved himself in this situation was Rich Bisaccia. Can AP repeat that performance? Now, I'm not saying to think about it from a Bisaccia perspective, because this is a whole different person, whole different personality, completely polar opposite, bro. Right? You're going from the kind-hearted, loving soul to I'm going to tell you exactly like it is, no bullshit, kick the door down in front of you and let's kick some ass. That's his approach. Totally different. That was great for the mental side, 100%. Then he punched, then he punched out his coordinator. Yeah, and he got sued. I remember that too. J-Dub, remember we were the first team to get a wild card and win a Super Bowl. If we continue to build anything, it's possible. And again, anything is possible. Anything is possible, especially when you change the whole perspective and mentality of your football team. We've never argued the talent that was there. My biggest question heading into this season was our defense. My defense has been the most exciting, surprising thing that's come out of this season. And it continues to stay consistent and improve in other areas. It seems like they even played a bit more aggressive and relaxed this last week, a combination that I like to see moving forward. They have potential to get better as they get healthier down the stretch too, and have some returning players come back. And a new offensive perspective. We already know we have playmakers on that side of the field. I'm not against anything is possible, but I'm not going to focus and act like that is the reality. It's 1 week at a time. Right now, it's finding a new identity, a new purpose, staying focused, and playing for a guy that might be your future. If this is what they truly think and what they truly believe in, they got to play their part in it. Definitely you live and you learn 100% from mistakes. Those that accept that succeed. Man, very well said, One Nation fanware. And it's such facts, bro. Like, the biggest thing that we can do is be humbled enough to ourselves and look ourselves in the mirror and let each other know it's okay to make mistakes. You can correct and get things right faster by making mistakes. How many times do we get pissed off when they play too safe, right? They get too conservative. We've seen it from this last dude, right? Like, got really conservative, really protective. Oh, let's be careful. You're not growing that way. Go all out, make the mistakes. You learn faster from the mistake than you do from not trying to make one. I can just imagine AP telling the team, let's represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I'm sure he probably said it, or if he hasn't, he will be saying it. Ray, I really believe that he's that type of coach. He's gonna speak truth until he can't. And right now, that could still be a reality. So he will bring it up. Ray Gonzalez, in our house. There's enough motivation and enough principle there to go get it. It's just a tall task, because I do believe that the elite, we're going to be playing two of them, Kansas City, Miami. I think Cincinnati's starting to play up to their game too. There's some really good teams in the AFC, but then you got the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Niners will probably bounce back. The Vikings are getting stronger and stronger as they build character in their season. There's a lot of interesting teams out there. So we got to find a way within probably the next 4 or 5 weeks to show that we could bounce back in that level. That's a lot to ask for. Lafayette, do you guys think we will 10 in watching the Jets now? Chargers will be a bigger test? The Jets. Let me pull that up. I'm trying to figure out what you're writing there, Lafayette. Let me see. Let's bring this bad boy up. $17-3 Chargers over the Jets right now. Jets from the offensive perspective have struggled with Zach Wilson. They're not a very good offensive team. It's night and day. They do have some pieces, but I believe our defense can hold them down. Again, we got to continue to work on stopping the run. From a defensive perspective, yes, as you can see, they're holding the Chargers to 17 right now, and the Chargers, I still believe, have a high-powered offense when it's all clicking. I haven't watched the game. I don't know how much of it's the Jets' defense versus the Chargers being the Chargers. But I honestly feel early on, as we sit here and talk, even with all the changes that our team is going through, that this is a winnable game for us. But more than just winning the game for me, it's about continuing to build that identity, to really set things in place and put stuff out there that is going to challenge our team, because our team is reinventing itself. Such a complete different perspective than when McDummy was here, right? Where we were just trying to get him to fix him and make this look like it was supposed to, or like it was sold to us. Now we know that we have the talent. We have amazing offensive weapons. We just need to create an identity and start to master it. And next week's going to be a good enough challenge with opportunity to stay in the game. So there's some things that we can do and try and still pull out a victory. AP made sure to go up to every player during warm-ups and high-five them. He's got them so pumped. There's one thing that I could tell you that I deal with when with working with the clients and my employees at work, or even myself, and how what I need from my job, I need from the blind community and me, right? I need to feel like I'm empowered, that I got this, that no matter what, there's people there that have my back. No matter what mistake I make because I didn't see it properly, or however the case may be when it comes to my vision. And I get that at work, and I get that from my peers. There's nothing more empowering than when someone believes in you, is what I'm getting at. And that's what he's selling, dude. He is selling the idea that he believes in every single person in different ways, right? Everybody that's on this roster, practice squad included, play a big part in how this team functions week to week. You would be surprised on how just that much. I was talking about it with my employees today. There's nothing that makes myself more motivated than when I get recognition verbally, not from pay, not gifts, not any type of moral type victories. Just, hey, we noticed that you did this. That's really great. Or when I receive an email from an employee saying I changed their life by really believing in them, that I need that. I mean, that's working for AP just as much as it's working for this football team. It's very interesting to see this thing unfold, and I'm curious to see how long it lasts and how far it can truly take us. It's pretty fantastic. I'm loving what I'm seeing and hearing right now out of the Raiders organization. J-Dub, I watched the end zone tapes today. Cool. And they went to the power blocking scheme. They went from the power blocking scheme to the zone blocking that they've been using. No, they really turned it around. And again, to me, that's the thing. It's the change. They made the change. It wasn't guaranteed that it may work, right? They haven't really used that or implemented it all year to this point. But they made the change. It worked. And you're going to continue to see that. Tragedy turned triumph. My bad night. I'm watching these two teams tonight and don't see nothing special from them that the Raiders can't get over them. Yeah, and again, we have to see, and we talk about this all the time, consistency and continuity. What happens when your expectations become reality? So this is kind of where we're starting all over. It's almost like we're living preseason all over again, but it's real. I mean, week one was just this past week, against a struggling Giants team, and you're hearing a lot of people say that. But yet we just got our butts handed to us by a struggling Bears team with the undrafted quarterback, right? So I don't get caught up in those narratives of how bad a team is versus how good a team is. It's really who's going to show up and play and execute that Sunday. And we have an opportunity each and every week to recreate ourselves, re-identify ourselves as a team, but how the fan base views them too. And we're off to a great start. And I love, so right now the needle's headed in the positive direction. You hear me say that all the time, moving the needle, right? I don't want it to stay the same. I actually want us to move the needle, right? And that's saying a lot considering we scored 30 points. And to me, it's not about the points, right? Let's score 30 points. Let's do another 30. Hey, let's do 28. I really don't care. Maybe we produce more yards. Maybe Aiden O'Connell gets a couple of touchdowns thrown versus a couple of touchdowns run. Like, start seeing improvement across the board. That's all we're looking for in victories. Just win, baby, right? Doesn't matter how we win. It's just showing that we're growing in the areas that we need to grow to sustain this type of success. That's something we haven't been able to feel in quite some time. Tragedy to turn triumph. Go Raiders. One Nation fanwear. I like how Mark wears all white swag in honor of his father. And father of his dad. Yeah. No, totally, man. That is awesome. And again, it just goes to show that he appreciates the legacy his father built. And he's just trying to live out that legacy. But I've always respected Mark. Not only does he recognize that and really truly tries to live up to that legacy, he is honorable enough to recognize the legacy, but he's also smart enough to create in his own image because he's not his dad. I got a ton of respect for what he's trying to do. You know, we'll have more respect to see him do it, right? But that's all in time. Lafayette, if Jacobs walks, draft Troy Henderson. Boy's a beast. I'm going to have to check him out. Obviously, he's a running back. I'm going to be honest with you. 8 games left. 8 games left in this long season. It's been it's already felt really long, right? We're halfway through this thing and we're already like, wow. Let's let this all play out. And I don't have a crystal ball and I can't see the future or what this is all going to pan out and look like. But if what we're seeing is actually change, and for the first time we're seeing the real Raider way come back, and there's a new breath of fresh air through the organization and this team who is very talented. We have a lot of talent on this football team. If it starts to truly engage AP the way that they showed this last week in this regime, there's no way Jacobs will want to be here. He'll want to be here. He would want to play for a guy like AP in a city that he's already been a part of. He'd want to continue to play with Davante Adams. They're tight, bro. There's rumors about those guys balling it up all the time together. Iron sharpens iron, bro. You know, I think if he believes in the organization enough, he'll stay. I think his biggest problem, maybe he didn't believe in these guys from the get. Who knows? One Nation fanwear. Yeah, Hondo is one of the most real Raiders beat writers. He keeps it real. And he'll own it. He'll own it, right? He was the one that's saying that there's like a 5% chance that McD would not be here. And he didn't come and be like, oh, well, no, he told you why that was. Because he reports, and that was look, things can change in a hurry. And he talked about how that 5% became a reality. He pulls no punches. I have a lot of respect for the dude. Mile High Raider, what's up, Mile High Raider? The whole team would have pitched in to get rid of him. Laugh out loud. We don't even know. That might be part of the deal. Maybe Devontae's like, I'll give you some kickback money, man. Get rid of these fools. D the Sum. A Mark Davis documentary would be amazing. Growing up in the shadow of Al Davis. And I've said this from the cut, dude. I've said this. Look. Every household has its thorns. It's skeletons in the closet. Pick a terminology that you want to run with, right? Al was a very serious, hardcore dude. He ran this organization from top to bottom and made every single decision. That's been reported time and time again. Something tells me he wasn't probably the most present father a young child longed for, right? I almost willing to bet, I don't have that much money, but everything I got, that Mark grew up more of a mama's boy than anything else. And the thing that strikes me the oddest, right, is the fact that Al didn't raise him to be the football mind, really. He didn't really, maybe he just didn't have the patience. We don't know. Al was such a focus-driven personality. He knew exactly what he wanted. He built this from scratch. He had a vision. He had a dream. He had an idea. He fought to see it through, and he fought. He was fighting the league for years. It seemed like the whole time, right? And I'm not saying he wasn't a good father. I'm just saying that it's pretty shocking to me that if you were going to build such a legacy, that you would have brought the one person up that you'd want to do it. Mark's had to figure out a lot of this on his own. When Mark came out and says, I don't know football the way my dad did, that's honorable to me. But it was also mind-blowing to me to think that, damn, man, you lived in this house with this man. You should know a little bit more than you play on. But again, to each their own. But you know what? He loved his dad. And even with his dad not being around, he's keeping his legacy alive. I will be honest, dude. For a guy who grew up with a father who didn't give two shits, and I won't get into the things that I had to deal with as a child, I respect the man for what he's doing. I hope my son and my kids look at me that way. Crosby doesn't get the full credit he deserves from the league. He should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Trust me, he is. And a lot of this is going to be number-based, One Nation Fanware. He's second in sacks right now. He's leading the league in pressures and all that. He'll make the Pro Bowl again. There's a lot of factors that are factored in when you pick a Defensive Player of the Year. But trust me, he may not get all the accolades. He might not get all these, posters and awards and such. But let me tell you, dude, he's got the league's attention, bro. He's definitely got the league's attention. Max Crosby is the heart of the Raiders. He is the Raider way right now. Everything about that guy is the Raider way, period. Let's see. Deep HTO V1. What's up, brother? What's good, folks? It's another day in the office, brother. Mile High Raider. Mark should have made McDaniels the towel boy. I'm going to pay you, but I'm going to pull all your power away. Make him quit, right? Deep HTO V1. McDaniels only knows one way, and that's his downfall. That's a fact, though. He can't adjust to anything. Let me see. He can't adjust to anything, people. Football, anything, people. Football, it doesn't matter. You can't treat these professionals like he does. Those guys make too much money. It's not only the money, right? It's manhood, dude. It's manhood. And I think the biggest difference that you're going to get from coach to coach, and there's plenty of coaches out there that's played the game, right? And I'm not taking away from some of these great minds. They played the game at a certain level. They didn't play it NFL, high level, Super Bowl level, all those. Not all coaches are going to have that resume, but they have been around the sport or played it to a certain degree. McDaniels was a football player. He was around football his whole life. But when you're not strapping on the pads and you're making it all about your brain and making it about your routes and execution and my numbers don't lie and it's your fault, because these guys have money, you got to find different ways to make them want to go out there and get beat up. They already got the money. It's they're putting their bodies on the line, so you got to find different ways to motivate him. He's just not a people person. One Nation Fanware. Oh yeah. My bad. I meant Cooper. Amik is small, but plays tough. He's always covering for the safety in the end zone. Man, that guy is. I mean, I said it before when I said it when preseason was ending. I said Amik has earned his right to be on this football team, and I'm glad I made that call. And the one guy that I thought wasn't going to get the nod just got cut, and that was David Long. I didn't think he was going to make it, but I wanted to see Tyler Hall here, and he was. Taylor Hall was contributing. I know he's been banged up, and Amik Robinson is more than contributed and carried his weight as a rotational piece to this defense. He's not a starter. He's not an every down cornerback, but he is a substantial bench player that's going to not just come in because someone's hurt. He's a guy you could plug in at any moment to make a play. He's small for a DB. No, he is small for a DB, but he's got Matt Hops, dude. He's like Spud Webb out there. One Nation Fanware. The guy has vertical for 5'8". The guy Spud Webb, I'm telling you, man, the guy has mad hops, especially with all that gear on. Raider combo. It was cool to see Jacobs and other players say they picked plays that they liked. Isn't that so telling and worked, right? Because nobody's going to know better in any field that you do, in any type of business you do. I did retail a long time before my vision went real bad. I was in the retail business. And we would always get these people that had Harvard degrees or whatnot, and they would send these schematics down for us to change the store to look a certain way because, the analytics said this or the analytics said that. And, that might work in certain places wherever they pull those analytics from, right? But each store in each town on each corner had a different personality. The store that I came up in, it was a very well-known, snobby type town, ritzy type town. We knew that they liked wine. We had to present the store in a certain look, a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way, and you had to set up your displays a certain way. Other stores, they're going to, it's just so different. It is just so different, and I look at football the same way. These guys are seeing the game from a completely different perspective week in and week out. They know what their strengths are. They know what they like to run, what they feel comfortable running. A guy like Josh Jacobs knows exactly what he wants when he wants it. He knows what he feels comfortable doing. And if you got Bo taking that type of information and taking consideration when developing plays, I expect bigger things to happen. I really do. Can he stay humble enough to continue that? Raiders combo. Oh, I just read that. No, sorry, Raiders combo. One Nation Fanware. Amik has come through in end zone many times. He's made he's like 2 or 3 game time winning plays in his career. This season with the safety blue coverage. He's got speed. He's got hops. He makes it work for himself. Raider combo goes to show McDaniels complicated it when he should have kept it simple. And it's not about keeping it simple as much as it is to it was his philosophy on how the play was viewed, right? I mean, I really wish I could be in those rooms to hear him explain it to this team. But just watching that video of Davante Adams laying it down says it all. AP is the type of coach that can take us to another level. He knows how to inspire playmakers, and that is huge. But everything's got to work, right? Like his role is perfect, and he's perfect at his role. What we need to see moving forward, right? The thing that I'm personally looking for when it comes to AP is how he not only continues the level of inspiration when things start to fall apart, because you're going to have bad times, right? But more than just the players, can he get the same response from Patrick Graham? Can he get the same response from Bo week in and week out and constantly continue to innovate and motivate and really take this team to each level that it needs to get to a point where it's championship level, right? And that's interesting. Like, I know it's all freaking beautiful right now, but we'll see when adversity truly hits him personally and hits his coordinators and how he's going to get them to respond to adversity or change while keeping the team motivated. You know, his biggest objective right now, it was just to take a team that was already at rock bottom. It wasn't going to take much to lift them up. I'm looking forward to see how he continues to implement that and raise the roof higher. That I'm excited to see it. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just, again, we're waiting to see how it all plays out. Raiders combo. It was nice seeing Renfrow get involved. Yeah, I mean, and again, it was only a few plays, but it goes to show you, and it wasn't just Renfrow in my opinion, right? Renfrow had 2 great catches. You saw the burst and speed that he still had to get those extra yards, the shiftiness that he has always displayed. But at the same time, it was the power of using Tucker, Carter, Mayer, Hooper, Myers. Like, they used every bit of our weapons that allows those type of things to continue moving forward. And it was awesome. Raider Rocha, 1974. Awesome, brother. What's up? Hey, Knight, do you think there's a possibility Allegiant Stadium, hold on here. My bad, brother. I'll get it right. Hold on. Allegiant Stadium can become a real home field advantage? Yes, I do. What I don't understand and what I can't fully tell you right now, bro, is when. It's going to take time. And it's something I'm really going to get into. Like I said, there's so many things else I want to talk about outside the common stuff that we talk about all the time with these games and everything. As it pertains to Al, as it pertains to Oakland, the move to Vegas, you know, the prices of the stadium, the reason the prices are high, the way that they're not playing games, they're considering us out of market in California when they know there's such a large fan base still here, how they're manipulating that into money. This conversation could go on and on and on. But in order to keep it simple for you tonight, at least the main thing that needs to happen moving forward, because I already know a ton of Raider fans, bro, that's moved to Vegas already. And I know a ton more that are wanting and trying to move there for the sole purpose of being closer to Vegas, even to be a part of like it was in Oakland and LA. Okay. And it takes time to build up a fan base. You're talking about a city that is a mix between all 32 teams in every sport, every color. It's a very diverse city. It's new. It's still new. So basically, they just need to continue to win. They need to bring players that excite the city. They need to win. They need to be playoff bound. They would be great if they won a Super Bowl. Those actually start setting. You're starting to see. You saw that with the Rams. There was always Rams fans in LA. Raiders still run LA. Let's not make no mistake about it. The Chargers find themselves really struggling right now because the Rams came in, won a Super Bowl. They built the stadium. The Rams date back even before the Raiders' time, right? So there's some old school Rams fan. It's all up through California and sit in that primary location in Los Angeles. The rest of it is ran by Raider Nation. The Chargers have no chance. The Chargers need to get out of Dodge as soon as possible. If that man is not saving money to get out of there, he's stupid. And what the league and what everybody's trying to do is push the Raiders out of California. And it's not, I mean, it can happen. I'll never say it can't, but it's a longer conversation. But can Allegiant become a home field advantage? Only if we win, brother. Period. Michael Munson, hey, just did what players. Hold on, my bad, brother. We'll get you going right here. Hey, just did what the players felt confident and comfortable with. Fact. How much of an insecure coach was McDaniels? Fact. Glad they cut the cancer out of this team. Arrogance, narcissism it's a bitch, bro. I'm not even gonna front. Like I know people like that. I know people like Josh McDaniels. They're too serious. They believe in themselves so much. They don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's not, they make it so much about being right and wrong that they don't understand what an argument truly is, right? It's two opinions colliding. And if we just talk it out, that's why I really love, like, I'm really trying to develop certain shows where I can come in here and get my thoughts all out. And then, but this is what I love doing, right? I could sit here and read these, and I don't even see well. I read like a freaking first grader, but I don't care. I love getting into the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say because, dude, I'm not making this channel like I'm some freaking NFL GM or I have the Raiders figured out just because I've been watching them for my whole life and all this kind of, far from it. We're just having conversations, bro. Iron sharpens iron. None of us are going to be exactly right. And I know there's some people that actually truly think they are, and I always find it funny. We're just here, man. This is sports talk. This is sports talk at its finest. Fans getting together, sharing thoughts, sharing opinions, working our way through the problem. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. McDaniels, you couldn't have this type of conversation. He wouldn't allow it. It's his way or the highway, period. And he's won nothing on his own. Raider Combo, I really hope this coaching staff does well so we can keep the continuity and consistency. Raider Combo, I couldn't agree with you more. And even more than that, I think Mark Davis making the decision that he made, he deserves a break. And I think that financially, it makes the most sense for him to give the opportunity to someone like Antonio Pierce at the proper price and continue to earn his way to that $10 million and give Mark a few years to financially recover from the millions and millions of dollars that he has thrown away. And that's key, right? Ain't nobody to blame but himself, but he's owning up to it. John Leon, yes, I say we draft a quarterback in the first or second round to sit behind AOC, and let's release Jimmy, sign a young free agent. Agree. We need to continue to draft as many quarterbacks as we can to change the narrative. RWA, Loco Sick, RWA, Raiders with attitudes. Fact. One Nation, Fanware, we have to beat the Jets because I do design work for the NFL. Awesome, brother. Headquarters in New York City, and I get destroyed. I get destroyed by the Jets and Giants fans there. They talk constant smack. Bro, if we could pull that win off for you, brother, One Nation Fanware, if we could do that for you, bro, just think about how awesome it's going to be. It's back-to-back weeks of you owning the conversation, bro. That pumps me up for you, brother. Loco Sick, Raiders with attitude. Fact, brother. One Nation Fanware, the New York City football fans at the NFL office have torn me up for years. It's about time I can talk smack to them. Fact, dude. And that's something we're all waiting for across the board. John Leon, just seen a video of the players giving the game ball to Pierce and Champ Kelly along with AOC. And again, that's a great video. I loved his speech. I love how he started off with Raiders, and he just laid it down the real. He just keeps it 100, bro. I really like the way that they handled themselves this past week. Mile High Raider, I like that the OC is preparing all three quarterbacks like the starter. And it was rumored that a lot of people do that, but it's just a different vibe and a different feel with these guys. They're taking advantage of their opportunity and doing it the right way. Loco Sick, does anyone in the nation know if it's true that Coach AP rolled up to the stadium in a lowrider? I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he brought in some of that Compton vibe up there, bro. There's got if it's truly happened, bro. There's video out there somewhere of it. I promise you. Dodgers everything. I just hope Mark Davis sticks with AP as head. Hold on, man. As head coach, believe he can build something special with this team, and players will want to come to Vegas and play for a coach like AP. Look, there's Dodgers everything. To keep it real 100 with you, there's two comments. Number one, you're right, in the fact that there's evolution to everything. There's evolution to the tight end. There's evolution to linebackers. There's evolution to defensive ends. There's evolution in the quarterback position. Why can't there be evolution in the head coaching position and how it's viewed, what it takes to be a successful football team based off what we're seeing AP attempting to do? This is where I kind of disagree with you right off the cut. And it's not that I don't want the same thing that you do. I just don't think after 1 week that we worry about whether or not AP's the head coach next year or not, because we want to see, again, that consistency, that needle move, him to do it on a week-to-week basis. And look, it's not, and he's in a good spot because it's not about wins and losses. It's about individual team improvement. And I know that's confusing. At an individual level, you want to see your players improve, to adapt to your calling and understand your message and go out there and make a difference. That's number one. Two, collectively, how that comes together as a unit and continue to play as one on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. It's exactly what we saw in spots consistently, and that's how we won yesterday, 30-6. So again, if that continues to be, I promise you he'll be that. I guarantee you there might be one exception to that rule, and we'll talk about that in the bye week. And it's kind of scaring me. We'll know more next week, but I'll be gone next. We'll have to talk about that too, because I'm going to be gone a lot next week. J-Dub, you in a, let me see. Yep. In a red, low, loco sick. In a red low rider, man. It's so sick, dude. Like he gets it. He gets the fan base. He gets the culture. He gets where we come from. It's a beautiful thing, dude. I love the fact that the Raider way can exist in today's society. I have to give the new Raiders, the new Raiders social media team credit. They have been doing a great team. Whoop. I think I jumped it. They've been the new team credit. They have been doing a great, I think there's a word missing, a great job compared to the old team. That's what I do for the NFL office in New York City. Fantastic, dude. I mean, your job is fascinating, bro. That's mad respect for that, bro. Like, yeah, you got to really know how to capitalize on momentum. You got to learn how to create that momentum. And when you see that opening, you got to know how to do it. If they put out some great ad campaigns with Marshawn, with it all, having all the players really buying into the thing, calling them out to come to the game. They were going to put on a show. To say those type of things, to really hit the nation where they know they could, and then for it to come reality is great. I've been ignoring my numbers, man. I'm 19 in, but I got 29. I probably lost a lot of people. It's been a while. I'm going to have to wrap this up. Greg Atkins is in the house. What's up, Greg? What's up, brother? Let's see. Let me see what he's saying. So, Cy, what's happening in Raiders? Pushing it, brother. Keep pushing it, brother. Oh, hold on, man. See, I'm jumping all over the damn place. In the Raiders land night. Keep pushing it, brother. Thank you, bro. Just keeping it real, man. Just trying to hang out with everybody, get everybody's insight, have a conversation on what's going on with our Raiders. I like saying it that way. At J-Dub, there's a video meme on IG of the Raiders training day movie with AP. People are brilliant, dude. As Denzel and AOC as Jake. That is freaking hilarious, dude. I got to look that up. Dodgers everything. At Loco Sick of a meme rolling. Hold on. Said to be AP. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to jump through these as fast as I can. Raider Campbell, AOC is a 4th round contract with a lot of upside. You could build with a lot of upside. You could build a great team around him. Is his potential elite? Probably not. And that's the thing. I'll touch on that. We can have an a AAA defense with weapons, O-line around him. But again, success is measured so many different ways, bro. And even if we build around AOC, he'll get a lot of credit for everything around him. And once those weapons are gone, we're still stuck with whatever AOC truly is. And, it's too early to tell what he's going to develop into, especially because we don't know the direction of anything right now. Right now, we're taking it week by week. We have the regime that we got. We're excited. We're pushing forward. I like where we're at as an organization as a whole. We're making all the proper moves moving forward, and we just got to stay the course. But I would say not to bank on AOC, because you can get a quarterback in the 1st round, and that'll essentially give us 5 years. So again, it all depends on what we see moving forward. All right, guys, it's getting harder and harder, to get through the chat. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of it, but just know I appreciate you guys. My voice, I'm still coming off a cold, man. We got all week, because I got to talk to you about a lot of things I got coming up next week. Remember, I'm going on an independently blind trip next week to Florida to accomplish some amazing things. I will be trying to do some videos while I'm out there and post them up while I'm out. But I just want to appreciate everybody that participated tonight. You know how I do it. One Nation Fanware. Do respect everything that you do. Let's go. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep moving. We got this. Lafayette, I appreciate you. You already know it, brother. Raiders Combo, Nick 209. Raider John was in the house. Appreciate you. I know Dark was in the house tonight. We got Road King Raider was in the house. What's up? What's up, homeboy? What's up, man? If we win this Sunday, I want to make sure I give you some love, brother. What are our chances against Miami? A very balanced team. Like, I won't read the whole thing, but hey, salute, Dark. Salute right back at you, brother. We have a chance at everybody if we continue to grow and find our identity, bro. Loco Sick, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. D Nightwalker, brother, you already know I appreciate you. We got Raiders. Rafi was in the house. What's up, Rafi? D Nightwalker, what's up? Let's see, I got Rafi in there. Who else did I get? One Nation Fanware. I'm getting tired, man. My eyes are burning out. Let's see. Appreciate everybody, man. Dodgers, everything was in the house. Appreciate you, brother. What a great chat we had tonight. Ryan Campbell, appreciate you being here, brother. Yeah, we had Dodgers, everything. Local Sick. Greg Atkinson, brother. So happy to see you here, brother. Hope everything's well with you and yours. Let's see. One Nation Celebration. Man, Nick. Ray Gonzalez was in the house. Robert Pena. I can't do it, man. Raiders Combo. You guys all know, man. My boys that have been here rocking with me. One Nation Fanware. Much love. Much respect. I'm tired. I'm coming off a cold. I will be back tomorrow to do this again. We will start taking a look at maybe something that comes out as we start to move forward, heading towards the New York Jets at home. We got this. And until next time, y'all stay Raider strong. Night out.